That's the reality. And no is not a solution. For more than a decade, Oregonians have worked toward a comprehensive program to reduce climate pollution in line with the science and to protect our health. We came within hours of passing such a climate protection law this year. Next year, in 2020, this state will not come up short again. Something big will happen in Oregon to protect the climate in 2020, one way or another. That is our commitment to the generation behind me. As you all know, our legislative process collapsed this year. Our democracy broke. Some members ran and hid out of state to stop a vote on this important law. We're not taking any chances this year, and Renew Oregon is working with Oregonians for Clean Air to bring forward several ballot measures. If legislators fail to Oregonians again and walk away from here without adopting bold climate change laws, we will take it to the ballot and we will win. The Renew Oregon Coalition prefers finishing the unfinished business in the legislature and passing the Clean Energy Jobs Bill this session. It is the only option on the table that will invest hundreds of millions of dollars a year into communities across our state, which are critical to our economy and our climate future. Our elected leaders have all committed to it as a #1 priority for next year, and we want to make clear that any bill that comes forward must achieve certain outcomes. Oregon must meet its targets for reducing climate pollution and to make sure our state is doing its fair share. It must hold large corporate polluters accountable across the economy because they are responsible for the vast majority of pollution. Our program must be able to link to a regional market and to the North American carbon market. We need to have partners in making the biggest impact possible on pollution and to speed up the transition to a clean economy. A program must invest in communities statewide with guaranteed investments for people hit hardest by pollution and the climate crisis, rural, low-income tribes and communities of color. There must be strong oversight of the program with a wide variety of stakeholders reflecting the decisions made. If large corporate polluters and their allies don't like the Clean Energy Jobs Bill, they're going to hate our ballot measures because they contain even more clean air protections. Oregonians love the ballot measures. Polling shows more than 2 out of 3 likely 2020 voters support all of the measures. I won't spend a lot of time on the details of the measures. Most of you have reported on them. If there's questions about those, I'm happy to answer them at the end. Lastly, there's exciting new information for us to share today about what current Oregon law allows Governor Kate Brown to hold large polluters accountable. You'll remember that Governor Brown committed to Oregonians the day after the chaotic legislative session that she would not back down on climate action and is prepared to use all the tools in her toolbox to reduce pollution. Our own legal research shows that there's quite a lot that can be done under our current law. Today we're calling on Governor Brown to commit to the 2 biggest executive actions she can take to combat the climate crisis and help Oregon shift to a clean energy economy. Number 1, she can update and enforce the climate pollution reduction targets already on the books in Oregon. She can make the targets match what science says we must and make them mandatory. She can also instruct her state agencies to then put programs in place that will help us meet those goals. The first one that we are asking her to commit to doing is to double our clean fuel standard. Currently, our goal is at 10%, and we're calling on her to double it to 20%. This is a successful program, and it's been doing really well in Oregon. The governor often says, we will not be judged by the facts of climate change, but what we did to stop it. Governor Brown, you have significant power to keep your promise to the kids of Oregon and to take bold action. We're asking you to commit to take these steps the day the legislature adjourns if the Clean Energy Jobs Bill does not pass. The bottom line is, we all agree legislation is the best path because it will contain the most detail, the most flexibility to make sure polluters are held accountable, and the investments needed to begin to flow to communities that need them as soon as possible. And we will give it our all in February. Large polluters and their allies should be clear on one thing. climate action is coming one way or another in 2020, and Oregonians are hungry for it. We have hundreds of folks who came in today and who are advocating and talking with their legislators demanding climate action in 2020. Thank you.